Hi everybody and welcome back. Today we'll be doing a video on Devil May Cry 5. I thought it'd be a good idea to have an in-depth look at this trailer as I did with the Resident Evil series. I'll leave a link in the description below, and at the end of the video you can always just click on the link to those videos. But for now I'd like to focus on Devil May Cry 5. We did see one trailer at E3 2018 this year. It looked, very vague in terms of what the story would be like. We barely got a glimpse of Dante. We do know that Dante and Nero are going to be in it. We've got Nico, who is Nero's new sidekick in his demon hunting business. And we also get to see a glimpse of who the main bad guy in the story is, or who we believe the main bad guy to. It's not confirmed whether he is. He could just be maybe a minion of being controlled by somebody else who's actually the main bad guy. We don't know that yet. We do know that Virgil makes a brief appearance in the trailer. Somewhere along here he steals Nero's arm, things like that there. But we'll see as we go along, we'll give a bit more detail into it. And for some reason they're promoting this thing heavily on Xbox One. And yeah, this is very important. At the end of this video you'll notice on the right hand side of Dante and, well, of Nero actually, we have a new fighter. He's the third playable character in Devil May Cry 5. His name is Vitale. It's an Italian name if I remember correctly. He's got a few tattoos here and there. His ability, apparently, he has the ability to summon demons inside of an enemy and, well, make them explode from the inside out. He uses magic a lot. And from what I can see over here, look closer at his right arm. This looks like he's holding a weapon of some sort. It looks like maybe it's a little dagger. I don't know, I could be mistaken, I could be wrong. This could just be a piece of lace coming out of his jacket. I could be wrong about that, but it kind of looks too straight to be a lace. It looks more like a weapon being held in his right hand. But anyway, as we go on with that, we just touched on that for now. We'll just explain more in detail as we go along. So as usual, we are going to play the trailer. We're going to pause, we're going to click and pause, we're going to slow things down and then explain things in greater detail as in terms of what we have seen and analyzed. So here we go. Oh yes, by the way, the background music, I found this metal cover version of the Devil Trigger song, which actually in my opinion sounds better than the original. I'll leave a link down in the description below. Please go to this guy's channel and subscribe and share his video. He is amazing. The quality put into the song, everything about it, it sounds like something straight out of a professional recording studio, and it is by far the best cover you're ever going to hear. I really hope they put this into the game itself. Anyway, let's go. Xbox. Everybody loves Xbox, except for PlayStation fans. Okay. This guy, he actually doesn't appear in the Devil May Cry series itself in terms of video games. He does appear in the anime though. Can't remember his name. If anybody remembers his name, please let me know. I do remember him in the anime, briefly. Okay, we get to see a city being overrun by demons. These appear to be new enemies, which we have never encountered before in any of the previous Devil May Cry games. They look a hell of a lot more uglier, and they look more bug-based than anything else. Lots of tentacles, giant tentacles going around. And this is what I find interesting. Like, we've noticed a lot of people here getting skewered and killed and stuff. Will we have an opportunity to fight tentacles? Will we find other humans around? Will it be an open map that we'll be going through, or will it be a linear experience? At the same time, I also pause in this frame over here. This appears to be the guy behind everything. He appears to be the great evil which we are now faced with, and we're going to have to obviously fight against and defeat. Something very interesting to note about this guy is he's got a bit of a glowing, what is that, an eye on his forehead? Which may point to this being Mundus in a different form, or maybe a minion of Mundus, maybe a weakened form of Mundus. Because if I remember correctly, in Devil May Cry 2 we did get to fight against him, but we didn't, I don't know, was it Devil May Cry 1? Oh, I can't even remember anymore. Devil May Cry 1, sorry, yes. But let's just see this, let's see how it all plans out. Hey, that's something interesting. He's got all of these, like, what is this? It looks like bullet holes in him, but these all of these relate to his forehead. His hair is spiky as well. Well, not really spiky, but it appears to be two eyes over here, a third one at the top, and these, I don't know what these are. Whether this absorbs more power, whatever it is. Lots of blood shooting around. Okay, we do know that this is referred to as the demon tree. From what I can see here, I don't know if this is lava or blood. It could be that maybe the tentacles we saw earlier on skewering humans could be that they're absorbing their life force and feeding the tree so that the tree may grow. As always, Capcom. Yeah, that's actually pretty awesome. Everything you just saw right now, this is all rendered in real time. It's none of this. I mean, look at the quality on the shoes, for example. None of this is pre-rendered. This is the way the graphics look in game. So you can only imagine the type of PC you're gonna need to run this, and obviously it's gonna run better on a PlayStation 4 Pro or an Xbox One X. And okay, that was the new design Nero, and this is very important. As a matter of fact, this is a huge detail that was left out in the Devil May Cry 4 game, but in the novelization it is actually a neon sign given to Nero by Dante. It obviously has a blue glow to it. As you can see, this appears to be Nero's color scheme. I don't know whether it was intentional or was an accident. Maybe the sign was meant for, I don't know, Dante had a hope that Virgil will one day join his fight, something like that. I don't know. The coolest aspect about this is the 5 on the van itself, obviously indicating that this is the 5th main installment in the series. Okay, this is the newly designed Nero. You can obviously see he looks a lot older, more mature. His outfit as well has also changed. He's no longer got the Order of the Sword logo. I don't know if that is the Order of the Sword logo. I doubt it. But I mean, have a look at this design. He has a glove on his hand, which he didn't have before. He just had 2 rings in Devil May Cry 4. He's obviously using the Red Queen, which is his staple devil arm, so to say. He's got short, spiky hair. It's got a very dark tone to his character design, which is actually quite nice. It refreshes the series. Well, actually, it doesn't really refresh the series. It puts the series in a more modern day light of the type of clothes you'd expect to see now in 2018 on a character in a video game, especially one that's based on a photorealistic setting. Yeah, nice. The sparks, that's amazing. Wow. Okay, this looks interesting. These tentacles appear to spawn throughout the city. It would be interesting if these things attack you as you go along. Will you have to kill them as you go through the map, or will they just be there for show in the background, just wriggling around? And we have a new character named Nico. She is Nero's sidekick. She's also the person who has designed Nero's new weapon called the Devil Breaker. We'll go more into that soon, but what I'd like to point out is this. She's got these tattoos on her arm, and at the end of this video I'll show you something quickly. We mentioned Vitail. Maybe the 2 of them are linked, we don't know. Maybe they're from the same hunting order of some sort. Maybe there's another order out there similar to the Order of Sword, but that focuses heavily more on demon hunting than anything else. But anyway, you can see her design as well. It's simplistic. It's not something that's overly complicated, something over the top like Trish or Gloria. And I gotta wonder as well, with her making these weapons for Nero, do we have an option whereby she can upgrade these weapons for him, or create new designs? Will these weapons break? Will they have to be repaired? Things like that. It would be interesting to see what she's capable of and how she fits into the story, apart from just being there, present throughout certain cutscenes, or just advising Nero. Also the van as well. That's something I'm really curious about. Will we be able to drive the van? That would be nice. If it was a large-scale map, and if we could traverse this entire city, it'd be kind of cool to drive the van itself and have Nero jump out of it and, well, get into a demon fight here and there. It just adds a new element to the game. But obviously I don't want this to be a driving game. It's got to be an action game. That's what Devil May Cry is. Hey, this is awesome. Check this out. She's got tools on her, which is pretty good. Which means she obviously upgrades Nero on the go, provided he's not in the middle of a fight. But yeah, that's good. Very nice design. Ramming through demons, running them over. Yeah, wow, look at the blood spatter on that. Very, very real. Very real. Nice. I guess you're really keeping the even tone of realism with the game. I mean, they did go for a photorealistic look, but when looking at the animations, when everything runs through frame by frame, and the physics of the game, all of it, it points to a more realistic setting over an anime-based action game, you could say. Ew, that looked painful. Whew. Oh, hold on. I just realized something. Let's just play that again, shall we? I didn't realize it was quiet. Alright. So, we see Nero here. This is something which I find really interesting. this necklace around Nero. I don't remember him having this before. Is this something given to him by Kyrie? Does it? Let's see if we can see that clearly. No, we can't. Ah, that appears to be the best we've got. As I pointed out, the demons in this game appear to be very bug-like. In fact, this looks like a giant mutated ant with that's thorns coming out of it. It's pretty ugly and nasty. Hey, look at this. This is a little bus. It looks like a straight out of London. Double-decker bus. Very nice. Very, very awesome. Hey, okay. Whoa. In true Devil May Cry fashion, leaping through the air, shooting up enemies, cutting through them. Well, not really cutting through them in this instance, but defying the law of physics. And there we have it. Nero's Devil Breaker. This obviously replaces his Devil Bringer, which was, well, I'll show later on in the trailer. But this arm basically gives Nero different abilities to fight with. He can obviously reach for his enemies, launch them. He also has the ability to slow down time, which we will touch on later on. But what I would like to know is, will this Devil Bringer, or Devil Breaker, sorry, oh my bad, will it have a cooldown? And also, without Nero's Devil Bringer, how will he activate his Devil Trigger? How would that work? If you remember correctly, in Devil May Cry 4, he had to obtain Yamato first, but then afterwards it was absorbed by the Devil Bringer itself, and he was then able to transform or activate his Devil Trigger. So now that he's got the Devil Breaker with him, does this mean that he can somehow siphon the energy or the demonic energy he once required, or that was held inside of the Devil Bringer, and he can still activate his Devil Trigger? That would be interesting. And also, apart from that, his main theme song is Devil Trigger, so it actually gives a hint that Nero is probably going to be able to transform without the Devil Bringer itself. Maybe he'll find a way to use the Devil Breaker to siphon enough demon energy to allow him to go into his demonic form temporarily, of course. Or maybe now that he no longer has the Devil Bringer and Yamato, he will have a demon form of his own instead of one that looks or is a pseudo for Virgil's demonic form. Let's see. Everything here. Look at these. Look at these buckles as well. The buckles, the zip. This is just amazing. You can already tell this game is just going to be over the top when it's released. Yeah, that's interesting. It obviously expands into like a hook type claw, very similar to that of the Devil Bringer. I guess this is, you could say, the best way to identify the Devil Breaker is that it is basically a technological or a mechanical version of the Devil Bringer. That's the best way to put it. That's interesting. Look at the size of this. These actually look like fingers, these sparks over here. Check it out. It actually looks like a hand, which is very similar to that of the Devil Bringer, which means that although we don't have the Devil Bringer, we're going to get mechanics that are either identical or very similar to that of the Devil Bringer itself, which makes sense. I mean, it's one of Nero's main tools to fight with. It's one of the elements that makes Nero so special, that he could grab enemies and launch them, hurl them into the air, or slam them into the ground. Ah, there we go. Check it out. You can actually bring them closer again. That's good. Okay, I want you to look at that again. This time I'm going to slow it down a bit, alright? Let's just drop the speed a little and unpause. There we go. So the Devil Bringer, or the Devil Breaker, sorry, this variation of the Devil Breaker appears to, instead of just grabbing your opponent, it seems to create some sort of explosion that pushes them back and creates distance between you and them. And then he obviously has, oh, look at that. You can hook it forward. These animations cannot be cancelled as well, by the way. It looks like it moves fluidly. Check that out. Yeah, I was right. That actually pushes the enemy back. You create some sort of energy burst that pushes him back. As you can see, Nero's arm is still here. It's not extended in any way. It's just an open palm. You could say as open as a mechanical palm can get. And you can look at the spark effects. The enemy is now being pushed back. It obviously has some sort of like explosive feature in it that'll just, I don't know, help you to create distance when you're overwhelmed, which is good. In classic Devil May Cry 4 fashion, Nero gets to grab and whirl these enemies around and around. This actually looks like a new enemy. Let's go back there and see it. I mistook them for these giant lizards from Devil May Cry 1 and 4. I don't remember what they're called, but anyway. Yeah, these appear to be an entirely new enemy. They look very similar to that of like a dinosaur fused with some sort of, I don't know, reptilian-like wolf creature. Hey, look, it's actually pretty awesome though that he grabs it by the tail. Look at that, it's actually around the tail itself, and then he hurls it around. And yeah, this is what's amazing. Look at the way the mechanical arm extends. It actually looks pretty demonic, and it's very close to that of his Devil Bringer, so it doesn't seem like we're going to miss much with Nero without him having his Devil Bringer. It could be that he's just limited in terms of transforming or activating his Devil Trigger, but we'll see how things go. This is one thing I want to touch on. Will we meet other people in the map or in the area? Will we be faced with challenges whereby we could save people or leave them to die? Can we interact with them on some level, some basis? I don't know, closer to an RPG element. It would be kind of cool, but also it wouldn't fit into the game. I mean, it's Devil May Cry. It's all action based. It's very, in matter of fact, in any of the Devil May Cries, you've never met any person or any human. It's always been a city or some setting that's devoid of all life except the demons, which you just gotta slay. Hey, let's have a look at that. That is awesome. Check it out. He gets to... Hey. Okay, that's very important. We saw Nero slam his opponents to the ground, alright? So this is... I'm hoping that this is an attack which we can use in-game. And as always, or as usual, check it out. These appear to be fingers, hand mark. The animations, the particle effects, always seems to be that of a hand, a demonic hand coming out of it, which makes sense. That does make sense. This is what's important. Look at this. His arm is now glowing. Does this mean that, like I said early on, will he then be able to siphon demonic energy from any enemy that he kills using the Devil Breaker? Does it absorb their demonic life force and add it to Nero so that he can then transform at a later stage? That would be interesting if it does do that. That's actually pretty cool. Check it out. Those are the enemies from Devil May Cry 3. And there's another one that's important. This is obviously used to grab his enemies. Can he grab more than one enemy at a time though? Previously, Nero could only grab one enemy using his Devil Bringer. He couldn't grab more than one. And once he grabbed the enemy, he had a choice of letting them go or slamming them into the ground. I mean, by slamming them into the ground, sorry, or holding them up as a shield. He couldn't grab more than one. In this one, it looks like he can grab more than one. Like, look at it. It goes through this guy into that one, and it, well, I'm guessing it yanks them both together. This is pretty cool. Check it out. He launches his Devil Breaker as if though it were a rocket. That's pretty cool, like an RPG style kind of weapon. That adds a new element to the game, because it means Nero's firearm is literally an arm in this case. It's not just his blue rose that he'll have access to as a projectile. It's also the Devil Breaker itself, which is actually pretty cool. But what I want to know is, when launching this into the enemy, it would be pretty cool if this thing could grab him and pull him back, but that's asking for a bit too much. And also you got the Y to do that. Hey, check that out. Nero's arm. He's launched it into the enemy. It's not there anymore. So how do you get it back? Does it just respawn automatically, or do you have to pick it up from the floor or something like that? Like, check it out. It's nothing there. It's just a little hook device over there. Ah, it reattaches itself. Let's see that again. Look carefully. Check it out. It was in the enemy, and here it is over here. It then launches itself and reattaches itself back to Nero. Interesting. Very nice. This is very important. Nero has the ability to now slow down time. However, obviously whatever he slows down is limited to this bubble. This, what you call it, the time bubble for now. And you can obviously, it's got a little, like, inner workings of a clock, what gears of a clock would look like. Remember, this is not the first time this ability has been used in Devil May Cry. Dante actually has this ability already. He acquired it in Devil May Cry 3 from Geryon. He has the ability to slow down time on a much larger scale as opposed to Nero. Dante can slow down enemies, well, all enemies around him, not just, in fact, he can slow down everything except himself. That's the best way to put it. Nero's one appears to be limited. And also, in terms of what basis will this be limited apart from the area of effect? Will it be limited depending on the number of devil charges you have in your devil trigger gauge? Will it be a time cooldown kind of thing, like after every 5 seconds you'll be able to use it? Or will he just be able to just spit those things out at as many enemies as he can? That would be interesting as well. That is very important. There appears to be flames coming out of here, so it kind of looks like he's coming out of his butt, sorry. But it looks like he launches himself using the, let's just slow it down once again. Look at that. He launches himself using the Devil Breaker, which is good. That adds another element to the game itself. Look at that. It actually, it's an attack that actually propels Nero forward as well. That's a very handy skill to have. Whoa, wait a minute. It went from one guy to the other, so that could be the attack whereby he launched the rocket out of his arm. He launched the Devil Breaker as a rocket. So, yeah, okay. The debris in the background, you saw that, the particle effects, that is just amazing. All these little details, they add quite a bit of, how do I say, fulfillment to the setting. Okay, let's go back there. Let's see if we can get a closer look at the blue rose. Throughout this entire video, we don't really have much of a good look at it. Let's see if anything's changed in the design, if it's still exactly the same. It appears to be the same double barrel gun, not much has changed. This is something I want to point out. The previous, when we saw the demon tree, the little red guy covered in licorice, he had kind of eyes all over him. This guy seems to have the same kind of feel, or look and feel to him. Yeah, ugly as hell. Ugh. The new enemies obviously appear to be, well, I'm sure this is a boss, so it wouldn't make sense for it to be an average character. Let's have a look on Nero. Look at that. Look at that. I was right. That attack allows you to push back an enemy, and even a boss character is affected by it, which is good. That's really good. But it's probably limited to, I don't know, when the boss is weakened or something like that. Look at the debris on, I mean, look at that. This is interesting. We just saw a boss pick up, or whatever this demon is. He just picked up a vehicle, he ate it with his stomach, and then he launches it out at Nero as a projectile. Now, will other enemies have a similar feature like that? Will they be able to? Will you as well be able to interact with things in the background? Like, for example, previously if there was a vehicle in Devil May Cry 4, it would just be static. It would just be there as if there were a wall. Can you now cut through a vehicle, or would a vehicle block you from? Well, actually, it would make sense if it was between you and your target. It obviously should be able to stop a bullet. I hope it does. This is awesome. It adds a new element to the game itself. Nero actually uses his Devil Breaker as some sort of airboard of kind. I don't know, like a skateboard without wheels, a rocket skateboard. I don't know how to put it. That's actually pretty cool though. Check that out. I guess the Devil Breaker it's a multi-purpose. Oh, how should I say, a multi-functioning arm or something like that. So yes, he can use it to push back enemies. Just, I'm sure that was put on scale. Obviously, Nico is the one that created it, so she understands all of its features and how it works better than anyone else. See, this appears to be a theme, or a recurring theme with this game. I don't know if you look at all the characters thus far, or the main characters that look like they are boss characters. They always have these weird designs to them in the sense that their faces, well, okay, in this one, this is the second character that's obscured in terms of the face. You can't really see much, just like these gross fingers are covering it. But look at this, there's eyes everywhere else. It seems to be a recurring theme in all bosses. I mean, this is the third boss-like demon which we've seen where the eyes are on the body itself instead of on the face only. They obviously appear to launch some sort of projectile, which you've got to then dodge. That is pretty cool. With that dodge mechanic that we saw there, this should actually be in the game itself. It shouldn't just be something that we see in a cutscene. Rolling back like that, diving, sliding. That would actually be pretty cool if you want to create some distance between you and your opponent. That would be a really handy ability to have. It's actually, it could be Nero's table hopper and a slowed down variation of it, but it would be really cool if you could actually access that ability on the go in the game while fighting. Apart from pushing your enemies back, it's also kind of handy for creating distance between you and them. That's awesome. This is what I want. Remember I spoke about this earlier on. Tentacles. Now, will we be able to slay these things as we travel through the map, or will there just be certain periods or points in time of the game where we have to fight them? Aha. We also look at Nero's Devil Bringer. You'll notice it's significantly different from that of the Devil May Cry 4 version. Obviously, as he has grown, so too has the Devil Bringer itself. It's obviously changed the way its appearance has looked. It looks a lot more reptilian, so to say, with these little claws out of here. I mean, he's always had claws, but it looks very different from before. New design, it looks good. I really like it. It could be that maybe it's somehow, as it absorbs more demonic energy or more demonic weapons, it changes its look and feel. Oh yeah, you also look at this hand over here. This guy is not going to shake Nero's Devil Breaker, just so you know. He's going to shake it, but not the way you think. And surprise, surprise, surprise. This is where Virgil was revealed. Well, not officially revealed, but this is the last time we saw Virgil. He was dressed exactly like this in Devil May Cry 4. However, remember, Devil May Cry 4 takes place after Devil May Cry 1. So, at this point in time, Virgil was already defeated by Mundus, and he came back as Nero Angelo, who he was then defeated again by Dante. So, maybe when he was defeated by Dante in Devil May Cry 1, he got his original form back and some of his memories, but he did not have Yamato, which could be the reason why he decided to steal Nero's Devil Bringer. Ouch. That looks painful. Yep, that's definitely Virgil. You can look at the boots as well. That gives it away. In fact, not just the boots, but everything. Every single bit and piece of them. This is exactly the way he looked in Bloody Devil May Cry 4 at the end of it. Come on. Yeesh. Ouch. That definitely hurts. That's a lot of blood. Oh. That's interesting the way he's holding the Devil Bringer, isn't it? I mean, I know it houses Yamato, and probably Virgil wants Yamato back. However, think about this carefully. What if the Devil Bringer itself was originally... because look at the design of it. Wouldn't it make more sense if the Devil Bringer was originally Virgil's demonic arm that somehow was attached to Nero, or somehow it manifested into Nero? Maybe when he was defeated as Nero Angelo, his spirit transferred into Nero, and that's how the Devil Bringer itself was born. It was actually, originally, it does belong to Virgil. It is his demonic arm. It makes sense when you're looking at the design, the lighting of it, and you gotta wonder whether this is really... I could be onto something. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. We'll see how things go and take it from there. I hope I'm right. It'd be pretty cool if I am. And Nero looks pissed. Is that it? Oh no, that's not it. This is brilliant. This is awesome. Look at this design, and it freezes up there. This is what I want to know about, right? The logo of Devil May Cry 5 has got like these little wings coming out of it. Now, when looking at the way Nero stands, it kind of looks like the wings are coming out of him. Will Nero's new Devil Trigger form have any... will be in relation to any of this? Will it be similar to this design? Will we see this on Nero anyway? With all these little blue feathers and things like that? That would be pretty cool if we do see it. I doubt we would, but that would be awesome. I guess that's it for this trailer. There's not much else to see. Oh wait, there actually is a bit more to see. Hold on. And it is here somewhere. And there we go. First of all, you can see the city is run down. Looks like the apocalypse hit it and all arrived, which is kind of good and kind of bad at the same time. But we see Dante on a... I don't know, a bike from the nearest dealership in hell. That's the thing. This is a recurring theme. These little spots and everything. I don't know what it is about it. But yeah. Dante looks, he looks really old. really, really old as opposed to his design in any of the previous games. He's even got a beard, check it out. Where has Dante been all this time? And yeah, release spring 2019. I do not know when this means spring in the northern hemisphere or southern hemisphere, because spring in the northern hemisphere I'm pretty sure occurs towards the earlier part of the year, and in the southern it's in the latter part of the year. So yeah, it's very confusing release. I prefer a specific date that would really help me out. Yeah, Xbox One, Microsoft. Oh, you look at that. It's probably going to be available on the Microsoft Windows Store itself. Let's go to this portion of the video now. And this is where we get to see our designs of our heroes a bit closer up. Dante's design from the back appears to be very similar to that of his DMC4 variant. His hair is obviously long, he's older. He looks a little thinner though, he doesn't look as buffed up as he does or as broad as he does in Devil May Cry 4. He looks a little bit more leaner over here. Nero's design is very similar, it's just that he's obviously got a more updated jacket. That's his Devil Breaker over there. Red Queen. I love the way they made it. Well, this is what I'm confused about. Being a game with a post-realistic setting, it doesn't make any sense for the sword to just be attached to the back without it being some sort of sheath of some kind. Same with Nero, but then again, Nero's holding his sword, so this is something maybe they'll fix or explain to us how the hell this is possible. I know it's a video game and all that, I'm going into too much of detail, but hey, they want to go for a realistic look, at least have some realistic explanation for things, okay? And this is Vitael, dark-haired, so he's obviously, maybe, okay, I don't know obviously, but maybe he's related to Dante. There's speculation that he could be Dante and Lady's son. We don't know if that's true or not. But then again, I also thought about it. He has the ability to use magic and summon demons. So it doesn't make any sense for him to be human. I mean, as far as I know in DMC history, there's no human out there that utilizes magic. There's always been demons like Trish and I think Lucia as well. In fact, they actually use them when they are in their demonic form, when they activate the Devil Trigger. So this would be interesting to see how he plays out. Does he have any projectiles? Maybe like daggers which he throws at enemies. Well, obviously he uses magic to attack from a long range distance. But how would he act as a close range fighter, as a melee character? It'll be interesting to see what he is like. It could also be that throughout, we see an older version of Nero and Dante. It could be that maybe Vitael joins Nero in his new demon hunting business. Alternatively, Vitael joins Dante. And that explains, as Dante comes up, maybe he brings Vitael along with him somehow. On a bike, yeah. Maybe the two of them are having a race. We don't know. When we see Dante racing through the city, Vitael could be right behind him. We don't know that for sure. One thing we could be sure of though is when I'm looking at the trailer, I realize now Vitael cannot be he doesn't have anything to do with Nero. That's what I'm guessing, because okay, I'm actually going on beyond the scope of this. Let's do a video on Vitael next. Alright? We'll end it there for now. Thanks guys. Thanks for watching. As always, please like, subscribe, share. Don't be stingy. If you don't like the video, then put a thumbs down. That's your call. Purely your call.